Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is July 28th, and today we're taking a look at the visible satellite imagery here in the middle of our heat wave that's engulfed most of the region here, except for maybe some portions of the coast here coming up. Quileute, Washington cooled down a little bit yesterday after a couple of hot days. But again, most of the area is baking as we go through this heat wave here, and we have the potential of setting the all-time longest record for SeaTac reaching 90 degrees. A little bit of model discrepancy between the European and the GFS we'll look at here coming up. You can see that moose fire out here is still burning. You can see we've got some diffuse smoke mainly aloft here. I kind of enhanced the sunset last night, gave it kind of a pinkish hue for much of the region here. And if you look closely, you can see some really weak convection, just a very thin, unstable layer kind of showing those little white puffy clouds that you might see if you look outside there across western Washington, western Oregon here. So jumping into things here on the water vapor loop, you can see this ridge is in position. We got the thermal trough going up the coastline here. Several more warm days we have to deal with here as we move on into next week before we get a cool down next week. And we'll talk about even some precipitation chances here on through the extended forecast and on in through the following weekend actually. So check it out here. This is the national map. You can see monsoon season continues for the Southwest. Heat advisories, excessive heat warnings in effect. Puget Sound, Willamette Valley, eastern Washington, into eastern Oregon, northern California, southern Oregon as well, except for along the immediate coastline and some of the Olympic Peninsula there. This is for Flagstaff, Arizona. Good graphics on the National Weather Service pages here. You can check these out by clicking on these individual locations here. You can see it's got the monsoon outlook for this area. You can do this around the country as well. This is for Medford, Oregon. Check this out. Dangerously hot temperatures. Check out some of these northern California valleys up to 105, 115. East side valleys 105, west side valleys 115. This is for Thursday through Saturday. Just an incredible heat wave down there. Very, very intense. This is for SeaTac. Yesterday we did hit 91. That's 2 consecutive days of 90. The previous day we hit 94, the all-time record high for July 26th. And we're not going to hit that record today of 97, but we're probably on schedule for another 91-degree day before we warm up a bit more tomorrow on Friday and maybe a little bit more on Saturday. Well, probably low 90s. And then Sunday's the questionable day here. The European has us getting up into the 90s. The GFS doesn't. And if we did, that could be potentially 6 straight days of 90-degree plus here for Seattle, which would be the all-time longest such streak. This is for Quileute here. It cooled down a bit yesterday, 75 after a couple warm days out there, 84, 85. But 75 still above the average of 69 there. This is for the NAM 3KM. This is actually yesterday morning, so we put this through, and you can see SeaTac 89, low 90s, kind of running a little bit cool. We did hit 91 at SeaTac here, but you can see the immediate relief along the coast, and of course the baking in the interior of Washington. I was out there yesterday. It was extremely hot, probably 107 degrees I was dealing with at times out there chasing dust devils. Now, checking this out here, this is the NAM 3KM wind speeds. You can see why we're getting a little bit of relief along the coast, but like Quileute yesterday dropped about 10 degrees here. You can see a little bit of onshore flow as we go on in through the period here. This is the most current run here, but you can see that onshore flow along the coast. A little bit of westerlies down the Strait of Juan de Fuca. So again, if you're right along the vicinity of the water, you're going to do a lot better versus especially into eastern Washington. You can see some of these winds coming through the east slopes here as well, just hot and windy conditions over there. Watch out. All it takes is a spark to start some of these forest fires. Now this is looking at the European Ensemble yesterday afternoon's run here. You can see the ridge fully in place here. We've been forecasting, the forecast has been pretty good on this. The ridge is definitely here, and it's going to hang out through Friday into Saturday. And then the European has one more hot day on Sunday before this troughing starts to arrive and really cools us down next week. And watch this trough just open up over the Pacific Northwest as we go on through later next week. And that brings a potential for some precipitation towards Seafair weekend coming up here the following weekend. So it's going to be nice to have the cool down, but I don't know. Do we want to take it too far and get some precipitation in here and some rain and some clouds? I don't know. We'll see. But this is still a ways out there. So this is the GFS. Here's the ensemble mean here. This is the ridge plainly in position. This is yesterday afternoon's GFS run here. And you can see They start to get this troughing a little bit close Saturday night, and this would bring some marine influence as we went through Sunday. It would easily drop us back down into the 80s here across much of the Pacific Northwest, and especially would end the Seattle run at 5 straight days of 90-degree plus temperatures. And then you can see the trough kind of open up here. So pretty good agreement on this trough coming up mid to later next week. So we're definitely going to cool down next week. But the big question if for me right now is just, are we going to get those 6 straight 90-degree days at SeaTac, which has never been done before in our recorded history? This is the European showing yesterday afternoon's run. You can see these just incredible temperatures out here for the Tri-Cities. And then the cool down, even Eastern Washington will get some marine influence as we go on in through next week. So much welcome relief is in sight, but we still have a few days to go through here. The European, this is yesterday morning's run. You can see it predicted 93 for Seattle. We hit 91. So we're probably going to hit 90 the next 2-3 days. High likelihood, but as you get to Sunday, 92. That's going to be really close. Probably going to be upper 80s, low 90s here, according to the European, before the cool down comes on Monday. But now as we check out here, again, this is the European. Let me go ahead one more. I had it duplicated there. This is for Sunday here on the GFS. Check this out. Drops us well back down into the lower 80s. The mean is somewhere in the mid 80s here, but you can see that GFS does not agree with the European here in keeping Seattle 90 or above on Sunday. So this is something we're going to watch. Some of the individual ensemble runs do show another hot day for the GFS here, but you can see we're probably not going to have any problem tying the record of 5 in a row. We already have 2. This will be Friday will be 3. Actually, Thursday will be 3, Friday 4, Saturday 5 in a row, and the potential for Sunday 6 in a row is there right now, but we'll continue to watch that, see which model, see if these models come into agreement here over the next day or so on that Sunday reading. So then you can see next week, though, good model agreement. That trough's going to come in here. We're going to cool much more towards seasonable temperatures here, probably even a little below average for a few days here through mid next week before Seafair weekend comes up next weekend. And we'll have to monitor that forecast. It's a weekend everybody likes to get outside here up in Seattle. Blue Angels are supposed to be flying around, so we'll see how that goes. This is the European for Portland, Oregon. You can see Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, very warm days before they finally start to get marine influence here as they go on in through Monday and next week. So much needed relief will be coming. I wanted to show you guys this here. This is the extended European we want to be looking at. You see no precipitation for a while as we go on in through Sunday. There's going to be some higher terrain thunderstorms probably as we go on in through early next week, probably Monday afternoon for BC. Some of the higher terrain might get some thunderstorms. Even Oregon, you can throw a storm or two in there as well. And then as we go through into Tuesday, you can see that continue through portions of Oregon. Wednesday, here comes some possible precip. Thursday also, check this out. We've got kind of a trough offshore here, and we could have some thunderstorms east and maybe some precip even for western Washington, Oregon, and British Columbia here. So we go through Thursday, Friday, and then on into Saturday, it looks like maybe some precipitation on the day too. So we'll watch out for that forecast on in through next weekend, but something to look at here for this next trough. So yeah, the smoke isn't affecting us too much. We're still doing all right forest fire wise. This is just kind of a sunset enhancer right now. Might knock a degree off the high temperatures, if I had to guess. But yeah, we're doing so good. So far, so good. And as we go on into August, though, we need to keep watching for these things. We'll keep watching on the smoke forecast there, and we'll keep watching any kind of forest fires that pop up. We can see them pretty good on the satellite imagery here. So yeah, we'll do this again tomorrow. We'll check out to see if we can get to that 6th straight day of 90 plus here for SeaTac, and that would be the all-time record. And yeah, so we'll talk about that heat and that trough coming up here, and we'll kind of see if models start to agree on when we can expect some precipitation out of that trough as we go on through later next week. So hope you guys are having a good day, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.